Friends, welcome back to Rinard. We've had some changes come to the city while we were away. Let's take a quick look at what we've got going on here. Our city here, our little village on the corner here, Mill Springs, has had two referendums. First being a name change. They're going to be Mutono, connecting to the historical shepherding that happened here, and also its proximity to the water. Now, some interesting things. The business folk here have gotten together and started building housing, and that's come in, and we now have some residents living here. As you can see, we've got 470 something households here. They've also gone ahead and just further tried to preserve some quietude to the town with the barriers there along the highway. There is this just horrible tailback. Not understanding why it's like that. I think they would probably consider adjusting it and allowing for more people to get in on that and hopefully clear out this tailback. We'll have to come back and check on that later. Now, as we move closer to town, of course, they've done some changes here at the train station here in Lindenville, opting for the more traditional French style train station. We're having some good travelers, though, some good amount of passengers going through it. The train line, of course, is still doing wonderful. Let's look at our Industry Express total. We've got almost 2,000 passengers, right? So, by and large, it's pretty well accepted here. Now, as you can see, we've got health stuff popping up. Don't know for sure why. Nothing particular standing out, but as we finished last episode, you remember, we were kind of seeing this area start to fill out and grow and kind of be its own thing. So we've got some interesting development going here on the coast and filling out the downtown area. Got some good, strong build go there. The farmland here in St. Agatha de Prey has also expanded. And there's a little bit of a neighborhood that's developed here. It looks like it's probably a workers' neighborhood. But changes are happening. Changes are coming, and changes will continue, I'm sure. Those are the big ones that I've noticed. Let me know if you spot anything that I've missed. But today's episode, we're going to focus in on helping the neighborhood here have a little bit more of a quiet time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pause time. It's rare that I do this, but I'm going to do it because we are going to not get rid of, but redo this train line. And we're going to redo the train line, which won't that be fun for them? They'll have a little roller coaster ride. But so we'll come here. Hi, let's cooperate with me now. Cross over that, and then we'll step it down just one step. You know, the snapping just absolutely aggravates me sometimes. Now, this was a long-planned activity that the City Fathers had gotten behind because the next step in the process is to connect, at least from a pedestrian perspective, across to the downtown, allowing for some cross-connectivity that will facilitate getting our people from the teachers' neighborhood into downtown. So this will be a nice little addition and make this area even, you're loud, even more livable. That is, if I can get it into this intersection without really getting it into the intersection. Now, look at that. That's going to dramatically improve it because they're not going to have necessarily as much noise of the train going by. And they'll have some actual connectivity, be able to come across to all these businesses. You know, they'll be able to sneak over here and have, you know, a visit to Caper or Ivatsu, or 26 is less than 9. I don't know how that works. Or, you know, Rummel or Murnus or Cheap and Random. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Cheap and Random? I want to go to Cheap and Random. Right? So that'll be a nice little addition there. Now, that's one thing that they want to do. The City Fathers. They also want to point out just how pretty Whittington is. Oh, thanks for joining the agglomeration, Whittington. Alright, we have other growth and other changes that need to happen here. Holsteinberg. I've been saying it Holsteinberg because of the Holstein cows, because of how it's pronounced in English. Yeah, that's on me. Looks like we've had some power construction going. As you'll notice, this came across and connected here to connect up the power grids a little bit better. Understandable. Let's look at our trash facilities over here, though. Oh, what do we got? We got something here. What's happening here? It's a terrible traffic accident. Wow, that's one hoopty-doopty of an accident. That's a hoopty-doopty of an accident in there, friends. Looking at our traffic, looking at traffic volumes along Grand Soleil, I think the City Fathers are going to start investigating putting in a tram line. Make that a little more user-friendly. Now, another thing that I think I've heard them talking about is possibly connecting in and filling in this area with housing. And I think that is the direction that they're taking today. But there was also talk about them putting in a stadium district here. So let's check in on their meeting there. Let's come over to City Hall real quick.
Mr. Grindle and I agreed to an incremental tax increase on our mining ventures to fund 10 million acres over the next 5 years.
Is this true, Mr. Grindle?
Yes, Alderman, sir, it is.
Having heard voices to the contrary, and voices for, we'll now take a ballot vote. Please vacate the chamber for closed session.
Well, you heard it there, friends. We've got Charles Colos wanting to throw his economic weight around. Looks like we're getting a stadium for the university, despite apparently Monsieur Garnier's, and this is a weird one. He actually showed up for this meeting. People were surprised because they've never seen the elusive Professor Garnier. But yeah, he was there, and he was fighting against, of all things, the sports that would attract people to the university that he championed. So that's interesting. Okay, we have built some connectivity here. And of course, they're going to do as they've done and insist on filling this out just as has been done in every other prior extension of these roads. Gridding it up, but then at the same time not gridding it up. Why? Because...
I'm French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
Because...
mind your own business!
They'll hide under a road. Alright, friends, you see how they gridded out the roads here. And then the city fathers, of course, will come in with their approvals for zoning. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of high-level zoning going in there. Kind of a final hurrah, huzzah. Yes? Yep, because then they are stepping it down into a lower density. Interesting. That's interesting, friends. That's interesting indeed. Will they connect up and make some more otherwise, some other zoned residential for this area? That is another question. Will there be a push to connect out and make Sterling Street connect through? I think there might be that push. You are not Anchor Street. You are a liar.
Liar!
Anchor Street was over there.
Liar!
I know, we did a whole bit on it with SpongeBob. I hate that you do this. City Skylines, your naming convention drives me around the bend. Oh, golly gee willikers. Alright, let's do like we do, and we're gonna have we'll have a couple towers here, and we'll zone in this here to kind of even out this stretch. And the city father is aware of the housing situation in town, are authorizing for some low rent housing, and then the next step down, of course, is the medium density housing. And look at that. That's filling in, that's tapering down our big sprawl of downtown without encroaching too much on Aubigny-le-Forêt. That's right. I just know it was Aubigny. I'm sorry. It's Aubigny. Alright, let's look at what we can do for our football or other stadium situation. We've got an American football field, which, as we all know, is actually a rugby field. We've got a basketball center, we've got a soccer field, and a community pool, so we could have a couple of those go in. I could see them having a natation center. No, not stetation, natation. Natation. Okay. I think that the city fathers have entertained it and are going to go with, although this is a bigger than that road. That's a sixer. That's a sixer! A 6-laner. Big honking road. We can come back and shrink it. So, to celebrate their love of rugby, it's all those Scottish and Irish immigrants that have come to the Northern Plains, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and let's look at these park options. I believe we're going to have the American football field, but we're going to need to have parking around it. So let's plan out the parking roads really quick. And I think we'll do the one-way. Hi, thank you. Why are you being lactastic? Let's see, we're going to have the entry off of... We'll do the entry off of ever-loving Umber Street. Because it's not Primrose. Aha! But let's have an interesting parking road here. We'll run it this way and have it, glitch out because, oh no, it's potentially, possibly, sort of touching the other road. Oh no, whatever shall we do? And now we'll connect it with the little lanes, because that's what needs to happen. Nice little alleyway connections. Not quite sure what that's about. That kind of makes me disgusted. Let's... Alright, let's try this then. We'll do a little sneaky snippy snip. And then we'll butcher off the ends. How's that? Does that make you feel better? Okay. Sometimes these road things just are baffling to me because I don't. Or you can do that. I'm not even going to look at it anymore. I'm walking away because you are a travesty of joy and justice. I don't understand why there's... Probably user error. What? Huh? User error? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So let's get that built. First we'll do the American football field, the rugby field, actually, as we all know. That's what it really is. And then that's that parking lot, but it's not the only one. And they're gonna jump for the opportunity to have a soccer development here, too, in the sports complex for the university. And again, that will not be entirely all, but for now, that gives them some amount of school pride, I suppose. Let's see how that's filled in as we've let it simulate. Look at that. That's going to be nice. Some nice tapering it down slowly, making for some good places for everybody to come in and live in the town, live in the city. Friends, do we have a fire? Oh no, we have a fire near Carruthers Woods, but what is the fire? It's a car. It's a motorcycle on fire. Is this a protest by Granny Carruthers and her people? Is that what's going on? We'll have to see. I don't know. Okay. believe that's helped with that, but I'm sure that the City Fathers would not give up on having the opportunity to have a little bit of commercial facing the university. Especially with this area here, so close. Captive audience of students who need to go eat somewhere, yeah, they'd jump on that. They'd get all over that. They'd get all up in its grill. So now, friends, we come to Domaine du Lac. And it would seem that Monsieur du Lac, as much as he loves his low-density growth, it looks like maybe Karen is persuading him and kind of changing his opinions because he lobbied and got that new roundabout put in. They're bringing in trees along the avenue here. We don't have the marron, but they do have some wonderful alders that they're going to go for this time. Let's see what the road network looks like from Monsieur Dulac. Looks like he's building off the two main thoroughfares. He's going to keep it probably enclosed, just like he's done every other time he's developed things. Oh, we're harking back to what he did over in Clos du Lac, over there where we had the little arc, maybe. It looks like with the finish of the general sense of the road network, the quintessential intersectional roundabouts that he seems to prefer are taking place, although it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a snit with this one, so let's just do that and redo it, because, you know, it apparently can't figure out how to merge things together well. So we'll fix that. Look at this. The Domaine du Lac growing again. Looks like he's gonna go for some interesting, this is a change, some terraced housing in this new neighborhood. Probably because he wants a little more density without the full-on height, as we've seen in other parts of town. Wait. Am I seeing this? Monsieur du Lac, what are you putting out here? Monsieur du Lac, he's doing a little commercial here next to the church. Well, goodness. Karen is helping him evolve his development style, apparently, because that's a big departure. So You're gonna put in parks along the road too? Is that what I'm seeing? I think he is. I think also I'm going to step in and tell him that he needs to do a nice little corner park here, not a chirper park, maybe a plaza park. Well, but that's basically the same park, isn't it? That's a little bigger. Okay. And of course, the snapping is going to cause it to have shingles. Will there be road connection for these paths? Probably. Looks like there will be. A path paralleling the whole way down, it looks like. Making for some good pedestrian access into the area, which is understandable. Well, these neighbors aren't going to necessarily be happy. Look, they're building another road behind here, looks like. What does that mean for density? Well, it means it's increasing, but look at that. That's this is an interesting departure for him to bring in business interests in the middle of his residential neighborhood. That's some mixed use that we didn't see from him before. I think we can put that on Karen's shoulders. Maybe Karen was the real brains of the operation there with Phil. We'll throw some speed on that. Let that develop in. But friends, look at this city. It's growing. We've got the sunken in, boxed in train route to kind of reduce that. We've increased connectivity between the neighborhood and the downtown. I wonder what that effect has been as far as... Let's look at the zoning effect. If we click on that, we can see... Let's see, customers amount are low, but that's because it's, the higher densities. So, I don't know, I feel like that might have helped them, at least here in the teacher quarter, get across and be more participatory in downtown. Wait. Did I just see Karen Keaton's name pop up? I did. She's Keaton Planning Associates has jumped in and look what they're building here next to the teacher quarter. Some row housing. Quintessential. Typical. But they've got the growing commercial entries. We've got all of these going here. Look at the efficiency of the rugby field. Do we have a lot of parking out here? We don't, and that's okay. We don't need it. Only for game days. But look at this. We've got the growth here in Domaine du Lac. They're all terrace homes. That's a change. Friends, that's a change. That's a big change. A big departure from what we're used to with them. It'll be good, but it's just strange. Some parks to gussy it up. Look at our city of Rinard, friends. We've got the triple towers here on the coast. That one's just always been interesting to me. We've got these right there. Boom! Look at how it's coming along, though, friends. We've got... How many of the citizenry do we have here in Mutno? 490 now. Look at that. They're increasing. Mutno's growing quite a bit. Let's see how Bujiak is doing. Bujiak has had a little growth. Do you see this? We got a little road that went in here. Interesting. What about Lindenville? Lindenville's sitting at a population of 2,000 just in Lindenville. What about Saint Agathe des Prés? 1,400. Friends, look at our city. It's just a thing of beauty. It's growing. It's being wonderful. The agglomeration is growing, and the support of Rinard with its neighboring towns around it. Friends, I'm just having a blast here with you and Rinard. Thanks for being here with me. It's exciting. Exciting to see the growth. I think we have a few more episodes yet here as we discover and talk about filling out the downtown area. But I was hoping for the ports and other release that was coming out that got shelved until later this year. So depending on how long it takes us to finish building this out, we may shelf Rinard and visit other cities in Louisiana or other places temporarily until that ports DLC comes out, and then we can explore Mr. Kolos's efforts to grow his business out there on the other side of town. But friends, thanks for being here. Glad to have you. Look forward to seeing you next time here in Rinard. Bye.